Hello, welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia, and I forgot that last time I did this, it didn't actually let me save at whatever point I was in, so I thought basically, I'll just skip forward to wherever I was. It won't take that long. Maybe just like a random spiel of random bullshit from my mouth, and we can learn exactly how much we actually did last episode, and how quickly we could get through it. If we weren't trying to actually go through it. Probably pretty quickly, I imagine. Getting there awfully... There we go. When I was a child, there were nights when my head ached so painfully I couldn't sleep. I don't know why. I think that I know they're saying that Yuuji used to be like the whole demon arm thing, but I will give it a chance. But I won't promise anything more. I think the doctor my mother took me to said something about stress being the cause. It began with something that felt like slight fever. Soon, my head would begin to throb painfully, in time with the beating of my heart. I didn't think it was stress. I thought I was starving for something. For affection, or for love. Something like that. Some frustrated longing was making it impossible. Its impossible demands upon me. One evening, I suffered an unusually severe headache on my way home from school, and crouched down on the roadside in agony. I looked around the area, my vision hazy and periodically obscured by pure white flashes of pain, but I couldn't find anyone who seemed likely to help me. But that was only to be expected. It was natural. Nobody's going to volunteer for the thankless hassle of looking after some sick kid they've never seen before. I thought as much myself. So I'm sure people passing by felt the same. Dragging my heavy legs forward, as if slogging through knee-deep mud, propping myself up against the wall, I crept my way home all by myself. When I finally reached my house, after what felt like hours of miserable effort, my big sister met me at the door. The instant she saw my face, it felt like my sister spoke some concerned words, but apparently my ears weren't working properly. I couldn't understand what she was trying to say. When I thought about the painful, lonely struggle I just endured, her sympathy only grated on my nerves. I snarled bitterly that it was a little late for her to help now. My big sister's face crumpled miserably. I knew I'd done something wrong, something worth apologizing for, but I really did not have the composure to tell her I was sorry. Ignoring my sister as she tried to speak to me again, I moved past her and into our bedroom. Were we sharing a bedroom at this time? I couldn't even muster the willpower to climb up to the top of the bunk bed where I slept. Instead, I opened the closet, collapsed inside it, then slid the door shut with the last of my strength. I liked cramped places. I liked dark places. I felt most at ease holed up in places too small for others to enter. It felt like I was safe there. Like I was cocooned in the cockpit of some powerful robot. There was nothing to be afraid of in there. The pain, so intense that it felt as though my skull was cracking apart, began to ease, little by little. I wanted to stay there. I wished I could curl up in that closet forever and never have to leave. Even knowing that was spoiled, pointless escapism, I couldn't help but indulge in it. When night came by, my sister woke me up. She asked me if I had calmed down, and I realized that I had. I felt almost refreshed, in fact, but at the same time, there was a tickle of awkward self-reproach. That's right. I need to apologize for snapping at her. Just as my thoughts reached that conclusion, I felt a sharp pain in my right hand. When I looked down, I noticed the wounds on my right fist. Deep enough to expose bone. I had no memory of injuring myself so badly. As I puzzled over whether I could when it could possibly have happened, my sister spoke to me in a subdued murmur. It seems your homeroom teacher committed suicide. Did they? I don't think they mentioned anything about a homeroom teacher before, did they? For a moment, I couldn't process the meaning of those words. Suicide. What a great time to bring it up. Oh, that's probably what she was trying to say earlier. In other words, the man took his own life. even as I wondered why a smug sense of satisfaction welled up inside me. I hated that teacher with a passion. He never complimented me when I succeeded, sneering at the smallest sign of pride. He focused exclusively on my failures, belittling me as a defective human being. He hurt me every single day. Huh? The man seemed to have entered the teaching profession just so he could reenact the miseries of his own childhood on his pupils. I silently urged him to die many times. Felt like what he deserved. I looked down at my right fist, covered in congealed blood. Did I kill him? I sort of really doubt a small child could kill someone and cover it up as a suicide. While I was unconscious with this headache, did my body crawl out of the closet all on its own? Did this hand kill my teacher? That's... Even just based on the context of what's been said now, everything's pointing to no. That anxiety stretched on and on indefinitely. When my head began its brutal aching, somebody would experience misfortune. The pattern repeated itself several times. My head hurts. I want something, badly, but as always, I can't even tell what it is I'm looking for, or I'm longing for. Okay. Interesting. I mean, JP did say that he didn't actually do it, right? He's not actually responsible, even though he thinks he is. So basically, he had some childish delusion to try to explain what was happening with his... I don't know. It is a bit of a weird coincidence if all these misfortunes end up happening when he's having these headaches. That thirst for something never did go away. Because like I said, his sister was trying to tell him something when he came back, right? That too, right? I mean, not sure exactly what it said. The instant she saw my face, I felt like my sister spoke some concerned words. Okay, it didn't go into that much detail, I suppose. The fact that she told him immediately after asking if he had calmed down, makes me feel as though that's what she was trying to say earlier. As in, it's like, okay, can I tell you now? Have you calmed down? I want help. Anyone will do. If anyone would reach out a hand to me, I'd probably cling to them and cry like a child. At this rate, it feels like I'm going to go crazy. I want to be alone. I want a cramped place where I can take refuge. I want to curl up in a dark place and sink into death, as if falling asleep. It was always my sister who opened the closet door and brought me out of my seclusion. There were times when I wished she wouldn't, when I found her irritating, and my sister died in a traffic accident. I didn't hate my sister or even dislike her. If anything, it'd be no exaggeration to say she was the reason I was able to keep on living. Even so, my sister died. Why did she die and leave me behind, alone? The question did inspire some reproachful feelings. But I still remember the look on her face that day when I answered her kindness with a snarl of irrational anger. In the end, I never did apologize. I could never manage to say the simple words, "I'm sorry for yelling at you." It always weighed on my mind. When I think of my sister, her troubled expression on that afternoon always flashes before my eyes. I can't stand it anymore. I wish everything would just come to an end. But maybe all of this was my fault. I gnawed at my possessed right hand until it bled. Oh, and 1 year after that, just as I'd wished somewhere deep down inside, the devil in my right hand took everything from me. My father died, and my mother as well. Must have been the one who killed him. All of them, I slaughtered them all. I'm the lowest of the low. I was a vile monster in the body of a child, and the person who took me in was an even more terrible creature. Taking the place of my father, who had died leaving only debts behind, that man brought me to his mansion to live like a dog. Every day was pain, nothing but pain, bitter, excruciating pain, beyond my capacity to endure. To escape that suffering, I would have gladly committed suicide, but I couldn't die. Not when they punched me until the bones in my face shattered. Not when they kicked me until my organs seemed to burst. Not when they covered me in gasoline and set me on fire. That seems... That really happened? Huh. I feel as though that sort of thing would have left scars. That... I felt pain, I suffered, but no matter what they did to me, I never managed to die. The devil in my right hand must have forbidden it. I'd forfeited the right to live as a human being, but maybe that wasn't all. Maybe I'd even lost the right to die. What was so valuable about my existence? Preserved at the cost of so much blood and suffering. Why was the devil keeping me alive? I didn't know. Forget the meaning of life. I couldn't understand the reason I wasn't dead. I reached my limit. The thirst grew so agonizing. I was beginning to wonder if I would ever stop swelling inside me. Since things had gone this far, I had no choice but to purge myself of the devil. That was the source of my suffering and thirst. I began by smashing my right hand against the concrete wall of my basement room, but the pain was so strong I couldn't help but easing off. I tried slicing out with a knife instead, but whenever I tried to cut through the nerve, agony ran through my entire body, so it was difficult to keep pressing the blade down. All I managed to do was cut myself deeply. The bones of my wrists were getting in the way, so I tried to scrape them down with the knife first. But the thick blood that spouted out made the blade slip and slide around, so I couldn't grind away very well. And every time the blade did catch the bone, the grating movement jarred my skull with sickening vibrations. In the end, I simply fainted from the pain. The adults in the mansion tied me up with ropes to prevent me from mutilating myself any further. And they whispered in my ear, and the same words repeated many, many times. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants you. Even your family despised and resented you. Nobody in the world loves you. No one in the world is on your side. Everyone is your enemy. Yeah, that does explain why the first thing he did for Makina was say, I will always be on your side. Hate them all. Anyone your eyes can see is your enemy. They made you suffer. They disgraced your family. You trampled your friends underfoot. That is the nature of your enemy. Kill them all. You have my permission. Slaughter them like cattle. Hate everything, kill everything. That is your only road to salvation. So I killed all of them. Everyone. I might have killed my sister. I murdered my own parents. But even after all that killing, I still haven't been saved. Why not? Haven't I killed enough by now? That's right. I haven't killed myself yet. I'm not finished yet. I've got to take my own life. But how? I can't just murder myself. I don't know how it's done. Nobody ever taught me. What do I need to do before I can die? I spent 2 weeks without eating any food. My arms grew thin as the branches of a dead tree. My front teeth fell out, and my fingernails grew soft and began to warp away from the skin underneath. When I reached up and touched my head, hair came out in clumps, but there was no pain. It seemed that I was simply going to wither away into a mummy. I would sleep in my crib, waiting for the day when someone would offer me blood. However many years it took, however many decades, however many centuries. Until someone who can save me appears. Till my sister comes to wake me up. Yuuji. Yes, that was my name. My sister always called me that. Till my sister calls again, I can only wait. In a slumber so deep, I'll forget even my own name. I wanted someone to pull me out of this hell as quickly as possible. But I had fallen into hell for a reason. I had done an evil thing. This was only natural. This was my punishment. When I came to, I was in an unfamiliar room. It wasn't my basement prison. There was a window. The pale, bluish light of the moon flowed in, and the air felt a little cold against my skin. On nights like this, where the moon hung fat and swollen in the sky, my sister used to moan in an awful tone of voice from the bunk bed of below my own. It was always like that on the nights when the moon was full. Suffering, sadness, desperation. Her voice spoke of many different emotions too strong for words. Frightened me when my sister moans. I'm not really sure what it's trying to say she did there. I would wrap myself in my blanket on the upper bed, covering my ears tightly, but still the voice seemed to pass through my skull and burrow directly into my brain. An overly bright moonlight flowing in from outside the window might well have driven me mad. I stood up from my bed, approached the window, and looked outside. A single girl stood beneath a snowstorm sakura petals, dancing on the wind, her back turned towards me. What was she doing there at this time of night? In the first place, who on earth was she? All those questions drove every other thought out of my mind. The girl turned around and smiled brightly. Her eyes met. Overwhelmed by the uncomfortable feeling that I'd been peeping on her somehow, I willed myself to pull back and hide. But for some strange reason, I couldn't move my body even an inch. It was almost as though the force of her gaze had pinned my moonlight-cast shadow to the ground. As I stood stock still by the window, the girl softly raised her right hand towards me and began to speak. My ears were ringing. The girl's voice couldn't reach me. When I concentrated on the girl's mouth, as she repeated herself, I read the softly spoken words from the movement of her lips. Over here, Yuuji. She was calling me. She was calling for me, clearly and simply. And when I focused on her with complete concentration, her voice itself became clear as a bell, sinking deeply into my mind.
こっちにおいで、Yuuji.
The girl was definitely saying that. Sound like Makina's voice actress. As she offered me her outstretched hand, tears began to roll down my face. Can I really take her hand? Is it really alright for the likes of me to take that hand? Is this just like a dream that he's having? That's going to the point of... the instant our fingers intertwined, the devil in my right hand might kill that girl. My body began to tremble uncontrollably. I was afraid. This is a dream. I want to wake up right away. When I see dreams like these, my right hand always tries to kill someone. I can't take anymore. I don't want to lose anyone else.
Papa?
Snapped abruptly back to the waking world by a familiar voice against my earlobe, I saw the girl crouched down at my side. That thought, as it seems like this is ending. Not specifically on this, but something that caught my attention earlier. He said his sister, has it been mentioned before? He said his sister died in a traffic accident? Did he say that? I don't remember. And didn't Amane's little brother, or was it little brother? Sibling I forget exactly what Sakaki said. Something, I mean, assume brother, as in she wants to be the big sis to Yuuji, replacing that. Also, traffic accident. So if my little theory about her having some sort of relationship to all this intelligence gathering, whatchamadoo and whatnot, not that I've really expanded upon that much or thought about it since ending the common route, is right to some extent, there might be a possibility that she's aware of that, and that might be part of her interest in Yuuji, you know? That girl, her eyes full of concern, spoke to me.
Papa, また泣いているの?
Yeah, I do that a lot, it seems. Hey, Makina. I'm fine. It's nothing.
なんでもなくないよ。どうしていつも泣いているの?
Oh, really? It's no big deal. Men might just wake up crying sometimes. Sort of like a wet dream, you know? Don't worry about it.
どうしてそんな怖い顔をしているの? 私には話せないことなの?
Yeah, that's right. It's got nothing to do with you, so you don't have to worry about it.
そんなのずるいよ。私だけ助けてもらって、私じゃパパを助けてあげられないの? 話すのが辛いなら何も聞かない。それに私あんまし頭良くないから、きっと話してもらっても上手に慰めてあげられない。
Are you still on about that?
だからね、前にね、あまねが言ってたの。
The eyes roll to the back of my head. I know where this is going.
傷ついた男の人を慰めるのは女の裸が一番だって。
Eyes roll past the back of my head. Kind of pathetic how true that is.
だからこっちにおいでパパ。
If you're gonna do this, please don't call Yuuji Papa. Those words send the chills of surprise through my body. I've only just realized that the voice of that girl in the dream, the voice that seems to sink into the depth of my heart, was Magina's. The girl who waited all that time, all those years, her hand patiently outstretched, offering me to lead me out of hell. Never would have thought she'd turn out to be a stumpy little airhead like this. But here we are. I find myself wrapping my arms around Magina, clinging to her like a child. Sorry, Magina, I never thought I'd think low enough to make you comfort me. Pretty pathetic, aren't I?
それでいいのよさ。男が女を抱く理由なんてそれで十分なのよ。おいでパパ、キスしてちょうだい。
I apparently bring myself closer, feeling the quiet touch of her breath against my face. I found it sigh. It's a warm, soft sensation like a slow summer breeze, too gentle to even ruffle your hair. Dawn has just begun to break outside. The morning light that flows softly into the room faintly illuminates her pink lips. Catching a brief glimpse of her small tongue between the slightly parted lips, I pushed my mouth onto hers as if reeled in by the jerk of a rope. It's the smell of a woman. A surge of vague nostalgia runs through me, but this fragrance is unlike that of any other woman. It makes me feel like my brain's been soaked in hot water, warmed down to its very core, and makes me feel like I'm safe. As I burn my face in Makina's almost alarmingly slender chest, the scent grows stronger and stronger. And in the next moment, she's wrapped her arms around my head in affectionate embrace.
ごめんね。おっぱい小さくて。
Speak quicker, speak quicker. Nothing to worry about. Why is that? That being held by the stunning woman brings me such peace of mind. It's still pressed to Makina's chest. I turn my eyes up to her face. She's smiling gently down at me, almost like a mother gazing at an infant child. I can't answer that sweet smile along with a hint of awkward embarrassment. I'm filled with something, feeling like, yes, I wonder why the fuck that is. When these innocent, caring eyes, when those innocent, caring eyes find mine, dark, ugly feelings swell up in response. Don't pity me. Don't take me for a fool. What's with that look? Don't you think, you don't think you really understand me, do you? Don't try to accept me. You don't have the first damn idea of what I am. The words rush into my head like a deluge of black mud. Part of me suddenly wants to teach a girl a lesson, to make her break down and cry. This is no damn good at all. I'm always like this when I see the bad dreams, warped to the point that even kindness brings me pain. Suddenly miserable with self-pity, and on the edge of tears. I hurriedly pull myself away from Magina. I'm sorry, Magina.
どうしたの？どうしてパパはいつもそうやって謝るの？私が悪いの？
I don't care whose fault it is. Let's just find a solution and conclusion. It's not true. That's not true at all.
私のこと嫌いになった。
Sure, whatever makes you happy. I don't know. I love you, Magina. That won't ever change, but because I love you, there are things I can't help but worry about.
聞かせて。
I can't explain it that well, but I'm not the sort of person who belongs in a normal school, who deserves a normal life. My hands are just too dirty. You have no idea what ugly things I've done. You can't even begin to understand. I can't just have happiness fall into my lap. I don't deserve it.
許す。
Ew. What?
だから許す。私が全部許す。気にすんな。
What the hell are you saying, kid?
パパの過去に何があったのかは知らないのよ。でもきっとそれは誰も許してくれないほどの罪なのよね。だったら私が許す。たとえ他の誰もが許さなくても私が許す。
You're not making the slightest bit of sense, you know?
誰も許せない罪で悩んでる方がむちゃくちゃだよ。目の前でまた開いてる女が許すっつってんだから許されときゃいいのよさ。
Well, I don't disagree. Part of this premise feels off. You really are talking complete nonsense.
むちゃくちゃ大いに結構。正論が正しかった例などないのよさ。パパはもう私のパパなんだから死ぬために生きるなんて私が許さないのよ。
Papa wouldn't do this. firmly resettling my head against her breasts. Not breasts. Makina gently strokes my hair. Honestly, this girl really throws me off my game.
お願いだからしっかり生きてね。大丈夫。私がずーっとそばにいるから。
Thank you, Makina. I'm no longer even capable of bluffing, pretending that I'm the one protecting Makina. All I can do now is cling to this younger girl, like a child hoping for his mother's forgiveness. I can't even keep myself from breaking down into tears. As I listen to the steady sound of Makina's heartbeat, I can feel the lingering pain in my head quickly receding. Some part of me believed that I was cursed. That if I talked to anyone, they'd be dragged down into hell with me. But now it feels like that heavy spell has been broken. Oh, because of the small words coming from the small mouth of this small woman. I'm grateful to her from the very bottom of my heart. Just as the sparrows begin to chirp outside, the rusty old air conditioner in our window seems to remember its purpose. Shaking the curtains as it belches to life, that bright clear morning sun slips through the gap and streams into our room. My head doesn't hurt anymore. By the time the sun's risen clearly above the horizon, my body started to wake up. Oh god, I was like half nightmare, half regular dream. Ooh, let's just forget that nightmare part, okay? I'm not even talking about the beginning of the video. That was interesting. It's the bits and pieces here and there. Yeah, that's you know what? Let's do it again. Palate cleanser, water. Just get some of that out of my mustache. And Makina trots over to the corner, unplugs our small fridge from the outlet, and then connects the cord for her bread making machine in its place. We have one outlet? I was just lying in bed spacing out, watching the girl grinding her plug into the outlet while yelping, "Whoa!" I can't help but break into laughter again. Deciding it's about time to get to work myself. I push my body up off the ground.
はいパパンがパッとねはいよお待たせパンが焼けたのよ
That was a hell of a time jump. Nice. Bring it here. What do you make for us today?
カレー好きなパパのために今日はカレーパンなのよ
Okay. Looks tasty.
ほんでパパはさっきから何をしているのよさ
Probably something that might kill someone. Knitting socks for our baby. That also might kill someone.
ほう靴下ってのはホームセンターで買った肥料から作るものなの
Yep. True proprietors of the trade use fresh materials. That's right. It's a new synthetic fabric made from nitrogenous fertilizer.
嘘よね
Yeah, it's a lie. Bring me those two plastic containers lying over there, will you?
いいけど何すんの
I'm filling them up with an iron powder mixture, then adding saline solution.
どんな靴下になるの
Socks thing was a joke. In any case, let's eat once I'm finished with these.
わかった
The two of us don't have much in the way of cash in hand right now. Paying in advance for 10 days in this room did not help. We can't just start withdrawing cash or swiping credit cards, of course. There's no easier way to track a fugitive than through the movements of their money. I did have a little bit of slush fund stashed away for a rainy day that the company doesn't know about, but I left that money with a third party connected to Asako, who's helped me out several times in the past. There's a chance that information might have leaked to Ichigaya through JB, so I can't just wander over carelessly and knock on the front door. So basically, that's gonna come up in a different route. Good to know. Probably. With my company as an enemy, it's proving frustratingly difficult to get my hands on cash. To be brutally honest, we're a pair of children up against a large organization run by deadly serious adults. I doubt our playground tricks will keep them off our tail for too long. No matter how hard we run, 1 week would probably be the optimistic estimate. If the cards fall wrong, we might end up being taken into custody today. In the cold light of day, I can't help but feeling that it would have been wiser to cool down and talk things over with JB at length, instead of thrashing around emotionally like this. But a straightforward negotiation strategy wasn't really an option, plus the fact that I don't seem very good at that. If the Yuuji clan was feeling comfortable enough to indulgently hear out a child like me, I wouldn't have turned to an extreme measure like assassination in the first place. For the moment, I simply have no choice but to smack aside our pursuers one after another. I've got a feeling today's going to be one hell of a long day. So I'm gonna assume that the rest of the route's going to be this day.
突入時間15分前です。
Yeah, it's probably just going to be this day for the rest of the route, right? Probably.
各員配置についた？
非常口の担当員がまだです。扉の前に廃棄自転車が放置されているようですが、排除しますか？
It had been, hadn't it? Oh, that sounds accurate. That does sound accurate.
排除しなければ扉は開かないの？
はい、そのようです。
ならそのまま放置。むしろ扉が開かないようにその場に。
了解。
Less than 12 hours after the commotion last night, specifically at 5 o'clock this morning, there was a misdial directly to my office from an outside line. Chihara Farrell answered, introducing herself as a receptionist at the fictional company we use to screen all outside calls. A young man on the other end of the line said, "I'm sorry, wrong number," then instantly hung up the phone. Some people are apparently still under the impression that it takes time to trace a phone call, but that hasn't been true for decades. Today, everything is managed digitally, so it's possible to retrieve the relevant data instantly via J1. Our trace revealed that the cell phone had been placed from a public telephone installed in a park in the Suginami ward. We attempted repeated callbacks immediately after the man hung up on us, but no one picked up the receiver. Agents were dispatched to the site immediately. My hypothesis: the person who placed this call was almost certainly Kazami Yuuji, and if he did, it's probably going to be, a trap. Most likely, the nasty little brat was intending to stand by with a watch in one hand, measuring the time it would take for our agents to arrive. Should we arrive in the scene within 10 minutes, he would learn that there was an active series personnel searching the neighborhood. If, on the other hand, we were able to take longer than 30 minutes, he could conclude that our net had been spread wide and thin. When your opponent gives your net an exploratory tug, it's only natural to try to use that against him. Assuming a scenario in which our personnel arrived on the scene an average is 7 minutes after the call, even if you began sprinting immediately after hanging up the phone, it would be difficult to cover more than 1.75 kilometers. Taking into account Kazami Yuuji's athleticism, I ranged for all multi-story architectural structures within 2,000 meter radius of the public telephone to be searched. 4 sites fit this criteria: the JTTC Hirasawa Building, Parkview Suginami, Central Tower Higashio, and Sun Avenue Clio. Plainclothes agents were dispatched to search all of these. 19 minutes later, I sent a dummy agent to put on a show of investigating the telephone itself. After 4 minutes of this, an agent spotted Kazami Yuuji ascending an emergency staircase on the high-rise apartment of Parkview Suginami, a building which afforded an excellent view of the park below. We commenced shadowing him. A full hour of evasive maneuvering around the city ensued, but eventually he led us back to the lodging facility that seems to be serving as his hideout. 11 agents relieved our pursuit team and settled in for surveillance. After 3 hours, they reported a confirmed sighting of our real target. I drew up a formal proposal for forcible entry and waited for a go-ahead from HQ. And just about a half an hour ago, I received authorization. At present, a special ambush team consisting of 23 members, including backup, has been deployed around the building. The raids begin in another 10 minutes.
管理人の老婆を含め建物内の人間の退避が完了しました。突入10分前です。
And so Yuuji's not as good as we thought he was, basically. Or he has something else planned. Well, the fact that he's making those things probably means he realizes that there's a very legitimate possibility he was tailed back. If he really tried to do that with the phone, then he must be aware that they try to follow him and figure out where he is. Even if he wasn't able to detect them following him, he probably would want to put in some sort of defensive mechanism the next morning, prepare it, right? To make sure.
気づかれた様子は？
サーモセンサーでの反応では室内の熱源は2つ。1つは部屋の右奥、もう1つは部屋の中央。30分前から動いていません。
But there's a rapid vibrating action between the two, and it's weird because they're so far apart.
動いていない。会話はあるの？
レーザー盗聴器による超音ではカーテンの影響で精密確認はできていませんが、テレビの音声らしきものが部屋の外からでも確認できていますので、おそらくはテレビを見ているのだと思われます。
嫌な予感がするわね。突入時間を 30分延長して様子を見ましょう。
And the director, or whoever, whatever his position was, jumps in saying, "Do it now! Push it ahead."
バカを言っちゃいけないよ、ハルデラ君。周辺道路を通行規制するのに一体いくらかかってると思うのかね。
Well, when you're talking about doing something right and doing something cost efficiently, those are very different discussions.
住宅地ではないのは幸いだが、あまり時間をかければ周辺店舗などの営利業務者からクレームがつくぞ。
ですが。
ですがじゃないよ君。君が提出したプランにはヘリまで申請してあったそうじゃないか。たかが一匹の野良犬にどれだけ予算を使う気だね、まったく。
そんなもの後で請求書でも書いて、うちから薩長、薩長から永田町、永田町から入助に回せばいいのでは。
君そういったデリケートな話題はこの場では言及を避けたまえよ。
そもそも私の提出したプランでは表向き不足第4条を適用したはずですが、
しかし不発弾処理による周辺退避となるとマスコミに対する粉飾の必要が出てくるだろう。大掛かりな偽装は避けようとの通達はあったはずだ。
万が一作戦が失敗した時のためのエクスキューズでもあります。必要な粉飾です。
だからといって災害派遣申請が通るのを待っていたら日が暮れて
突入開始時刻5分。
よし突入。
まだですよ。5分前って言ってるでしょうが。
君そんなに怒らなくてもいいじゃないか。
キアラ、最終確認を。
はい。突入班アルファ、バックアップブラボー、封鎖班チャーリー、観測班デルタ、救護班エコー、各班連携完了です。
Oh god, Echo Squad. No, don't do it, Echo Squad, no!
いいかね、重ねて確認する。イリス・マキナはできるだけ無傷で確保すること。彼女は強力なカードになる。9029号が障害となる場合は強制的に排除して構わない。
構わないわ。
クイーンより各トランプへ。アリスを保護せよ。ラビットが障害となる場合排除を許可する。遅れ。
Crying out loud, none of this is playing out the way I wanted it to. We may be part of a ministry instead of an agency now, with a nice sign outside of our office, but all we really got out of the deal was a lot of politics and red tape. Our group was far lighter on its feet as a, quote, permanent combat unit, end quote. Admittedly, this is a fairly small-scale spot mission, but I can't even get a surveillance helicopter in the air, let alone airborne early warning. My plan was already covered in red pen before it even made it to the chain of made up the chain to the brass, who probably authorized it in that mangled form with no alterations whatsoever. They cut giant holes in my strategy, then dumped it right back into my desk. I'd at least understand the amateurs and the Arisu family signing off on this, but we're supposed to know what we're doing here, right?
デルタチームより緊急連絡。建物周辺から爆発物反応を検知したそうです。
種類は
二酸化窒素です。ニトロ系ではないかとの報告です。
At the very least, I'm gonna cheer for Echo Squad here. Come on, Echo.
なーに構わんよ。ブリーフケースの中のマッチを爆発物だと騒ぎ出すような連中の報告だ。気にすることはない。
危険です。
君ね、安全な仕事がしたいのなら転職することを勧めるよ。
どうしますか？間もなく突入時刻ですが。
本部長。
構わんと言っただろ。突入だ、突入。
Oh boy.
胃が痛くなってきたわ。
突入開始時刻です。チームアルファ突入開始。ワイヤートラップを解除。建物内に侵入します。
Nausea settles heavily in my stomach. At the same time, a hazy uneasiness whirls deep inside my chest. There's nothing I'd like more than to burst out of the room and run away. The queasiness in my stomach I owe to Director Otsuka's pig-headed rashness, and I more or less understand where the gloominess in my heart is coming from as well. In any case, I get a bad feeling about this. To be more precise, I've got a whole range of bad feelings about this and not much else. Kazami Yuuji is a shrewd man, with the instincts of a wild animal. I can help feeling we caught his tail far too easily. It should be approached as a potential trap. It certainly looks as though we've cornered him. Even a small shift in events could reverse that dynamic entirely. No one's as light on their feet as those convinced of victory. The lighter you are on your feet, the easier it is to knock you to the ground. I know Kazami Yuuji learned that lesson well. After all, I'm the one who taught it to him. Oh yeah. Obviously we're gonna get out, yeah? It's way too early. In total darkness, I feel for the black light button on my wristwatch and push it in. Time's exactly 9 a.m. As the watch buzzes softly and amidst a faint electroluminescent light, I catch a glimpse of Makina's face. Her expression is visibly anxious. It's time. Ready, Makina? Don't grab a rich man or an agent by the tail. That's the secrets of living a long, long life. Even if you should happen to coincidentally discover an enemy spy performing their duties, don't assume you just made it your career. Agents are often compared to rats or moles, but the single biggest difference between them and your average rodent is that agents are trained professionals. It's highly unlikely you're going to be stumbling across one of these in the field, and plausibly so. Your first thought should be that they're trying to bait you somehow. As for the second biggest difference, in the spy population, there are a decent number of predators mixed in among the prey. Agents do more than skulk around and hide. Sometimes you'll find ones with nasty teeth, lying in wait and ambush you and rip a hole in your necks. Well, now, I don't really know the things he was putting together earlier. Probably some sort of bombs or something else along those lines. Something to do with his trap. In short, never allow yourself to assume the spy you just randomly discovered is a careless idiot. And whatever you do, don't tag along back to his lair all by yourself dreaming of medals on your chest. The more enticing things appear, the more carefully you need to watch your ass. Success is directly proportional to cowardice. That's how you deal with an agent.
ねえパパ
What is it?
寒い
I'll deal with it. 9/10 of the fugitive lifestyle comes to toughing it out. I realized the building was surrounded at 7:30 a.m. There's one thing I knew about the brass at HQ. It's that they never miss a meal or siesta. So I assumed we'd have until breakfast before the actual raid took place. And exactly as expected, they held back for precisely an hour and 30 minutes before finally making their move. During that delay, Maki and I finished all of our preparations, then quickly hid ourselves inside a large commercial refrigerator. Ooh, really? Interesting. Very interesting, and he just leaves the TV on and stuff. If he was planning to trap them, why would he pay 10 days in advance? That seems a bit pointless. Also, the other thing is, he knows the brass so well that it's actually pretty funny once I let that sink in quite a bit more. Turns out there's an enormous kitchen in this place. Probably a remnant of some forgotten era when it was a hot springs hotel, and the fridge inside proved equally massive. A stainless steel refrigerator, in other words, an enormous lump of heat insulating material, an ideal hiding place. After emptying the fridge of its contents and pulling out the shelves, Maki and I climbed inside, closing it behind us with a single towel wedged in the door. This way we can simply yank on the towel, filling the door open, enabling us to jump out quickly if the need arises. Battle against time now, Hopefully they'll fall for the trap before we get hypothermia in here.
罠を解除するのに時間がかかったり全部解除されちゃったらどうするの
I wonder how many traps there are. Well, given the situation, I took countermeasures against that. After everyone else in the hotel is quietly evacuated, I went around the building laying traps all over the place. I call them traps only in the loosest sense of the word. They're mostly extremely simple tripwires, and 80% of them are dummies. Carefully tracing the wire back to its source, you'll find that many of them are just harmlessly tied around a pillar. Might sound like nothing but a childish prank, but there are a few elaborate works of art mixed in with them in there as well. I'm particularly proud of the little number installed on the door of the room we were staying in. Creeping along towards our room from the front entrance, painstakingly clearing one dummy wire trap, then another, you'll find you'll start to feel a little let down despite yourself. And then just as you beat anything, are any of these things real? You'll run into that lunchbox. Lunchbox. Right, literally a box that once held a lunch. Specifically, one that Amane prepared for us before we left the dorm. Oh, thank you, Amane. Makin and I enjoyed the food inside last night. As she watched the empty box, Makina softly mumbled, "We can't go give the box back, can we?" And I was struck by a thought. A lunchbox is a standard slang in our profession for a time bomb. Seemed like an appropriate choice for the sham threat. The lunchbox, connected to our door by a series of wires, currently contains a fake bomb constructed of random odds and ends. Taking a photograph with an X-ray camera would immediately reveal the contents to be junk. But if you arrange it carefully with a few plausible-looking parts here and there, you can produce something that's hard to distinguish from an irregular explosive device covered in unrelated trash. It's quite common to dump junk on the top of the guts of an actual bomb. When the man looking it over says, "Just a dummy," and opens the lid, it blows up in his face. Nasty prank that agents from the East are particularly fond of. But thanks to those dirty bastards, sprinkling a little nitrogenous fertilizer over some random crap in the box is enough to leave professionals sweating bullets for a good 10 minutes. Drill a completely meaningless screw or two to the surface of the lunchbox, and that'll be pissing themselves for a good 20. It's an extremely helpful trick in certain circumstances. Some of the more high-tech bombs these days can detect penetrations by X-rays, and others have thermometers that trigger an explosion if you try to use liquid nitrogen to defuse them. You can carefully disassemble this thing, trembling in your booties, only discovers yet another dummy. Had about enough of this crap now, right? So you throw open the door to the room where the final trap's waiting for you.
私のデジタルペットを使ったやつ
No, not the Digimon! That's right, good luck dealing with that one. High-tech toys these days are made of some pretty impressive stuff in their own right. Not digital pets, those things are like 2 decades old, even 2010. That probably would be like 15 years. Yeah, like 15 years since those were new. That digital pet machina I was carrying around is a good case in point. That cheap-looking plastic eggshell contains a 3-axis geomagnetic sensor. So, oh, okay, for direction and whatnot. A little rewiring, and we've got ourselves an extremely precise and low-cost trap that can be triggered at the slightest movement. The world really is a convenient place these days. It all comes down to the 8 seconds after the enemy falls for that trap. And what do we plan to do after this? Why would you set a trap? What do we plan to do with it?
7個目のトラップを解除。またダミーです。
また？
全部ダミーではないのかね。所詮は穴蔵に追い詰められたネズミの悪あがきだよ。
そう思わせるためのダミーです。油断はできません。
アルファ、対象が潜伏中の部屋の前に到着。扉に仕掛けられたランチボックスを発見。
またかね。突入を開始してからもう10分以上経っているじゃないか。どうせそう。
いえ、今度の装置からは微弱ですが、オシレータのクロックパルス音が検知できたそうです。何らかの電子回路が作動していると思われます。
どうやら本命というやつだな。できるだけ速やかに解除。
対象はまだ部屋の中にいるの？
はい、サーモセンサーによる熱源感知によれば対象は移動していないそうです。
そう。
I thought the lunchbox was in the room. Okay, whatever.
デルタより緊急連絡。
What is he using for the heat source?
今度は何かね。
いえ、対象潜伏中の室内の温度が上昇しているそうです。
Oh.
室温が上昇？
いけない。すぐに全員建物。
なんだね急に。説明したまえ。
対象は室内で可燃性ガスを飽和させている可能性があります。71年にマリオとアントニオの兄弟テロリストが使った手です。建物に突入した特殊部隊を建物ごと爆破して18人を殺害しました。建物自体が罠なんですよ。すぐに退避を。
バカな。対象は建物の中だぞ。自爆する気か。
Well, knowing Yuuji, he might be willing to.
マリオ兄弟は大型の冷蔵庫の中に身を隠していたそうです。おそらく対象も同様の手段を講じていると思われます。
Man, JB...
とにかく退避命令を。
JB knows all his moves, doesn't she? Damn.
今度は何？
アルファ、ドア開けちゃいました。
ちょっと！
状況、ガスです。室内から大量のガスが噴出。
爆発は？
起きていません。吹き出したガスはどうやら市販の殺虫用燻煙剤のようです。
殺虫剤だと？バカにしよって。 室内の
それが室内の熱源は灯油用のポリタンクに詰められた化合物による熱反応だったみたいで、
Okay.
殺虫剤の加熱蒸散装置としても機能していたようです。
やられたわね。
しかしまだ建物の中にいるということだ。総員で捜索に当たる。
待ってください。まずは建物内の排煙を済ませてください。加熱蒸散装置を使用していたということは粉塵爆発を狙っていたはずです。
Oh, he's not gonna let that happen.
このまま銃撃戦でも始まれば大爆発を起こす可能性が。
対象はこの混乱に乗じて逃走を図る腹積もりだろう。銃を使用しなければいいだけの話だ。捜索を始めたまえ。
Can you win without guns?
ですが、
アルファリーダーより報告。部屋の天井から何やら紐で吊るされた玩具を発見したそうです。
Not the Digimon. Oh, I bet it's Stokemon.
ガン？それが何だというのだね。
I wonder what she would have digivolved it into. I wonder.
まさか。待って、それには触らないで。
アルファ、応答してください。こちらクイーン、アルファ、応答を。
Oh, that was a spine-chilling sounds of damn.
やられた。今度こそ本当に。
If only JB was the one doing it. She knows all his moves.
どういうことだね。
振り子型起爆装置です。部屋の中に加熱蒸散装置を仕掛け、殺虫剤に混ぜた微粒子を噴煙させ、やがて部屋のドアが開けられると、室内に滞留していた微粒子が排出されると同時に、燃焼に必要な酸素が室内に流入。
Ah.
粉塵爆発の条件が整います。そこにコリオリや地磁気に反応する電子玩具を発火装置として天井から吊るし、
So basically, the mass changed in air pressure because of the basically because of the difference because you open the door instead of having this you have very different air and atmosphere makeups in each part, which means the actual air pressure against each other is massively different, which means there would be a significant flooding of each type of atmosphere into the other, changing significant pressure and causing even a slight movement significantly.
わずかでも振り子の動きを阻害すると起爆する装置を仕掛けておけば、結果はすでに現状が物語っていますね。
Yep. And I guess the refrigerator's good enough to make it survive, or
くそ、現状はどうなっている？報告しろ。
チームアルファに負傷者が2名、重度6、緊急搬送を要します。
huh?
また現場は小規模な火災が発生している模様。現在チームブラボーが消火活動中です。
対象はどうした？建物内の捜索を開始しろ。
現在チームデルタが捜索に当たっています。
待って、その前に負傷した2名は誰なの？
アルファ3とアルファ4のペアです。扉付近で待機していたため、吹き出した高風速の爆炎をもろに浴びたようです。
確認はした？
いえ、すぐに確認します。
急いで。
ハルテラ君、今君負傷者の心配よりもだね、もっと重要なことがあるだろ。
At this fucking point, you should stop questioning her and don't stop questioning her, but stop trying to throw down everything she does and actually ask why she's doing it before you do that. I mean, come.
アルファ3、アルファ4、両2名が車両を強奪、逃走を開始しました。
何？
GPS で追って。
奪われたのは特捜車じゃありません。資材運搬車ですので、ロケーターは未搭載、追尾不能です。
Ah, that's a good idea. Hide as one of them and run out.
観測ヘリは？
OH1 の発信はキャンセルされています。上空待機ありません。
該当車両のナンバーをすぐに N システムの手配車リストに登録して。
登録しました。現在紹介中です。
ハルテラ君。
And so that, we lost this round plain and simple. And thus the rabbit spirited Alice away, leaving the cards behind in the dust.
最悪のラビットだわ。
I have to be honest, I feel like we used most of our resources on hand. We're not going to be getting another Digimon. Also, I'm going to say, I don't care if it's really Tamagotchi. It's Digimon to me. it's going to always be Digimon to me. And for context, if I've never explained it, if people don't know, Tamagotchi, I'm sure people know the digital pet things. But Digimon were initially, the original Digimon were actually supposed to be the boys' version of that. And that's really how they started, from the same company and everything, so that's what I'm talking about. We use up a lot of our resources, though. We're not going to have another one of those. Or...
なんとかうまく逃げ切ったみたいね、パパ。
Yeah, almost feels like it went too well, to be honest.
パパは心配性なのよさ。
Well, based on the other perspective, it sounds like it really did go as well as it needed to go. Not that that's going to. Could we, like, sell this vehicle? I'm trying to think. We need cash, we need other resources, we need something more than the vehicle. And we definitely don't want to be driving it around for too long. The operatives broke into our room, spreading concentrated gas throughout the building, then triggered the explosive via our literally untouchable incendiary device, exactly according to plan. The roar of the blast was followed by the sound of shattering window panes, and then the loud crackling of the building itself swelling violently outward. With that as a cue, Maki and I quietly exited our hiding place. Flaming particles of dust were still swirling in the corners as we slipped out of the room and down the hallway. Ambushing and disabling 2 isolated members of the Panic Raid team took only seconds. We stripped the pair of their equipment and threw it over our clothes, covered our faces with their gas masks, and left the building with Machina playing the role of a casualty. I have to be honest, this seems, if they don't address it, something they probably should have addressed is the fact that Machina is so small she probably wouldn't look like someone part of the raid, right? Even with the equipment, maybe in the panic. And the relief team rushed over. I picked out the man with the armband of a squad leader. Oh, relief team, that's Echo's. Wait, no, that's. Wait. I don't remember, and I'm not about to go back. That might have been Echo. And then I shouted, "There's more wounded inside. We need help getting them out." Once the squad had rushed into the building, all that remained was silencing the one member who'd been left behind, the station wagon they were using as a material transporter. Such jobs are usually left to apprentices still too green to enter the actual scene of a raid, and when I glanced inside, I discovered a female employee wearing glasses. The only people who needed corrective lenses in our company are total newbies who haven't gotten their mandatory vision correcting surgery yet. Woman couldn't have been with us more than 3 months. However, she had a truly fine rack. Of course. Yuuji just like coming up to the truck and just like looks in and just like, she's like, "Oh, can I help you?" And he's just staring for like 5 minutes. Machina just looks up to him like, "Really? We have stuff to do." And he's just like, no. Give me a few more seconds. Just as I began to idly wonder if rude titties had been added to selection criteria for the SFGP. You know, it might have been, based on the whole political side of it. I wouldn't be surprised if the interviewers were more politicians than they were previously. And given they probably have no idea what they're talking about, that's probably maybe kind of one of the things they're actually looking for as a way to distinguish people. It struck me that the dopey-looking chubby-cheeked glasses girl before me was actually a familiar face. Well, if it isn't Hearts 11 from last night. Ooh, yeah, she was definitely the one and only agent I allowed to escape from my little rampage in Shimbashi. I casually removed my gas mask and whispered a few words. "Hello again. Thank you for last night." The instant she saw my face, Heart 11's eyes went big as saucers behind her glasses, and her mouth fell open in a perfect circle, just like a Gmod face. To her credit, she promptly reached out for the PCT button on her radio, but I put a stop to that. I grabbed her wrist, wrenched sharply upward, and pulled out the cord of her radio before she could do so as much as blink. After tying her hands behind her back with nylon cable, I ejected her forcibly from the vehicle. Leaving Heart 11 rolling around in the asphalt while yelping like a dog whose tail had been stepped on, we beat a hasty retreat in the station wagon. The notebook PC inside the vehicle allowed us to call upon a map overlaid locations of the end system cameras and potential checkpoint deployments. Taking care to avoid them, we drove around the city in circles for a good hour or so. We crossed paths with the motor patrol forest car several times during this little expedition, but there's no reaction. Seems safe to say Sakura Daemon isn't heavily involved in this yet. I imagine they provided access to the end system, but it doesn't look like Ichigai has given them photos of our faces. Let alone requested an official manhunt. Well, when politics get involved, people sitting right next door to each other can't even manage to keep up a decent line of communication. Well, the main reason behind that is that politics are super responsible for a lot of stuff down to the very fundamental level, so they have to be extra super careful, or else they're the ones at fault. But they're in the same way JB would want to be careful. The political director wanted to be careful about something else, and again, it's two different paths, whether you want to be efficient for one reason or efficient for another reason, basically. And it depends which one's most important. And in this case, probably they're making the argument that JB was in the right. All the more so when our company's the key player, of course. Honestly, you're both special state agencies, right? How's the point of sneaking around all the time?
Nani?
Friendship in the grown-up world. There's a lot of bullshit involved. Anyway, let's ditch the wagon in this coin parking lot here. Don't forget anything inside, alright?
Hi! あれ
Ooh, what's wrong?
忘れ物しちゃった。リンゴの鉢植え、宿の厨房に置いてきちゃったのよさ。
Fuck. Are we actually gonna go back and try to get that at some... I mean, we definitely can't do it now. What? Ah, crap. Oh, we can't exactly run back over there to pick it up.
どうしよう。サッチンと約束した大切な鉢植えなのに。
It's a shame, but... Oh, I don't think there's really anything we can do, Machina.
でもパパ、あれは希望の苗なのよ。みんなでまた必ず会おうねって約束した苗なのよ。
I understand. But we can't just casually wander back to the scene of a crime, can we? Even if we did, it wouldn't be there. They must have confiscated it as evidence by now.
そんなの見に行ってみなきゃわかんないじゃないのよさ。
I can...
確かめる前に諦めちゃうの？
Do you remember what just happened? I could imagine maybe going back and looking for it, like, in a month. Maybe. But if we go back there, we're basically asking to get caught. There's no hope at all if we go back there. That's not what... Shit. Okay, how can I explain this?
ごめんねパパ。無理を言ってるのは私もわかってるのよ。
Yeah.
でもあの苗は
Went on longer than I thought. Yeah, I understand. It's an important tree. For you and me both. It's a seed of hope. But, Machina, even if the tree's safe, if you lose your life, it's all over. And on the other hand, even if we lose the tree, as long as you stay alive, we'll definitely see them again someday. Please understand.
でも
Symbols are not more important than the actual life they're supposed to be symbolic of, right? Don't worry too much, alright? If they confiscated it as evidence, they'll probably keep it labeled and stowed in some vault. Once they're done investigating, they'll water it to keep it from withering. I'll find a chance to steal it back eventually, okay?
わかった。きっとだよ。
As stupid as a promise as this is. Yes, that's a promise. So for now, let's focus on finding ourselves a place to hide out for the night. We abandoned the nondescript station wagon with the keys hanging out of the passenger side door. Oh, it was a station wagon. Right. Now we look not like we left anything inside for a thief to steal. And it's hardly our problem if someone rips out the radio or whatever. In fact, it'd be convenient for us if someone were to steal the whole vehicle and have themselves a little joyride. Pulling Machina by the hand and trying to ignore the downcast expression on her face, I head down a flight of stairs into a subway station. Oh, someone's gonna be mad.
キアラ、コーヒーをカフェインみっちりで。
Severely. Oh boy.
みっちりって先輩またですか？もう18杯目ですよ。
Don't worry.
さすがに体に悪いんじゃん。
Don't worry, it's not. And... Oh, my goodness. I mean, that was good. That was good, Yuuji. Obviously, I would be shocked if his inspiration for that did not come from the identical source as what JB was referencing. I would not be surprised if that identical source of inspiration came literally from the writer of this, was like reading about it at some point. It's like, oh, that's so cool. And then as soon as this came, it's like, oh, I could do that. I'm willing to bet that's probably how it went. It seems like a pretty safe bet. Well, let's see. How else? I mean, is it just gonna be like a cat and mouse thing? One thing after another event? It can't go on forever. And if this starts getting into event after event of them just getting away, then that would probably get more boring at the very least. I could imagine it happening more, but I prefer that to be in narration or whatever. But either way, at some point it has to end. And how do you end it? Do they get caught? Do they do something? I don't know. Do they go blow up the Irisu building? That might be an option. That might be a bad idea, but it might be an option. Do they go and arrest Amane for being super suspicious? Because she's still super suspicious. Just go back to the school and just like, Amane's like, what are you doing here? And you're just like, okay, I've been waiting long enough. I've waited long enough. Now I'm just going to put you in handcuffs and bring you down to each guy and say, here is my bargaining chip. This person, she's really suspicious. Maybe that's how it could go forward. I don't know. It's a possibility, right? There's more than a 0% chance that might happen, right? Oh, I don't know. Either Yuuji needs to do something to stop the manhunt, or they get caught. Because like JB said, it's never going to end. Because this is someone with enough money that the threat that they're trying to extinguish is not going to just go away as long as Makina's alive. And they're going to keep pursuing and pursuing. It's not like they're just going to get bored or anything like that. Oh, well, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I think that's probably a decent place to end it. But maybe a little bit shorter than usual, but I feel as though it's going to transfer into another set of scenes, I suppose. So, I'll see y'all next time. Drive safely, everyone.